Welcome, stranger traveler. Now, I will tell you a new story. A story that one of my old friends told me. So let's begin. The Silent Children of Vesper Street. Chapter 1. The Clock That Stopped. The rain fell in sheets against the window of Alice Ray's office, turning the glass into a rippling mirror of London's sodium lights. She stared at the case file before her, the photograph of Lillian Crow staring back with wide, knowing eyes. The girl had vanished 3 days ago from a locked bedroom on the second floor of a terraced house in Whitechapel. No signs of struggle, no fingerprints, but the family's. Just that damn drawing. Alice lifted it carefully between two gloved fingers. The paper was too thick, almost leathery, and cold to the touch. 9 figures in flowing black robes, their faces obscured by deep hoods, stood in a semicircle. Between them, a smaller figure, unmistakably a child, was being led toward an ornate door. The detail on the door was unnerving. She could make out tiny etchings of what looked like musical notes along its frame. And that word, carved into the wood grain, Vesper. Another one. Alice jumped at the voice. Chief Inspector Donovan stood in her doorway, his bulk nearly filling the frame. His tie was loosened, a half-eaten sandwich in one meaty hand. "You've seen this before," Alice said. It wasn't a question. Donovan chewed slowly before answering. "Not my case, before my time. But my predecessor, Chief Morris, he had a file. The Vesper Street Vanishing. 1995. 3 kids gone in one night." He wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. "They found drawings too." Alice's fingers tightened on the paper. "Why wasn't I told?" "Because," Donovan sighed, lowering himself into the chair opposite her desk. "The official report says those kids were runaways. Morris closed it after 6 months. No bodies. No leads." He pointed at the drawing. "And no creepy pictures in the official record." The clock on the wall ticked loudly in the silence that followed. Then, at precisely 4:17 a.m., it stopped. Chapter 2. The Tape. The archives room smelled of mildew and old paper. Alice sneezed as she pulled the 1995 case file from its dusty box. The folder was suspiciously thin, just a few witness statements and a single cassette tape labeled in fading marker, "Victim Interviews, Do Not Erase." Her tape player whirred to life with a click. At first, just the hiss of blank tape. Then, "Interview with Jessica Langley, age 8, the 18th of October, 1995. A man's voice, weary. "Morris. Jesse, can you tell me what you saw last night?" A long pause. Then the softest whisper, "They were singing." Alice leaned closer. "Who was singing, Jesse?" "The children, the quiet ones. From the walls, a rustling sound, like the girl was turning to look at something. They want me to count to 10. The recording cut abruptly. When it resumed, the quality had changed. This wasn't the interview room anymore. The sounds were muffled, distant. Children's voices singing in perfect unison. A melody Alice couldn't quite place. Underneath, something else. A whispering, rhythmic, like, "Counting," Alice breathed. "They're counting backwards." At the end of the tape, just before it cut to static, one clear sentence. 10, 9, 8, 7. Alice's blood turned to ice. The voice was her own. Chapter 3. The Survivor. St. Agnes Psychiatric Hospital hummed with fluorescent lights and the occasional scream from the upper floors. Alice followed Dr. Gupta down a corridor lined with safety glass windows. "Mr. Fletcher hasn't spoken in 20 years, Gupta explained. "Not since he was found wandering near Vesper Street the morning after the 1995 disappearances. He was a detective, like you." The man in room 14 was thin to the point of emaciation, his hair gone completely white despite his being no more than 50. He sat at a small table, folding what appeared to be origami cranes from newspaper clippings. Hundreds of them filled shelves around the room. Alice pulled up a chair. "Mr. Fletcher, I'm Detective Ray. I need to ask you about the children." His hands didn't stop moving, fold, crease, turn. The singing, Alice pressed. The counting, what does it mean? Fletcher's fingers trembled. He completed another crane, then pushed it toward her. Alice unfolded it carefully. The newspaper clipping was from the 17th of October, 1891. The headline read, 9 children disappear from Vesper Street Orphanage. As Alice watched, Fletcher's hands moved automatically to make another crane. This time, when she unfolded it, she found it wasn't newspaper at all, but a page from Lillian Crow's missing person report. Fletcher looked up for the first time. His lips moved soundlessly, forming 2 words. Too late. Chapter 4. The Door. The building at 9 Vesper Street shouldn't have existed. City records showed the address as a vacant lot since the Blitz. Yet here it stood, a 4-story Georgian townhouse with blackened bricks and windows like empty eye sockets. Alice's flashlight beam trembled as she approached the basement entrance. The door was newer than the building, its dark wood polished to a shine. Carved into its surface were 9 musical notes arranged in a descending scale. Her radio crackled. Ray? Status? Donovan's voice was tinny through the static. Found something. Stand by. The doorknob was freezing. As her fingers closed around it, Alice heard it, faint at first, then swelling in volume, a children's choir singing that same melody from the tape. And underneath, the counting. 6, 5, 4. Alice turned the knob. The door opened onto darkness, so complete it felt solid. The singing stopped abruptly. From somewhere inside came a sound that made Alice's breath catch, the rustle of fabric, like many small bodies turning in unison to face her. Then a single child's voice, so close it could have been whispering in her ear. 3, 2, 1. The flashlight died. Chapter 5. The Choir. Later, they would find Alice's badge and service weapon on the basement steps. They would find her notebook filled with variations of that same drawing. 9 figures, 1 door. They would even find the tape recorder, still running, capturing 47 minutes of perfect silence before the batteries died. But they would never find Alice Ray. In St. Agnes's, Martin Fletcher folded his last crane. When the orderly came to collect it, he found the old man smiling for the first time in decades, his hands finally still. The crane, when unfolded, revealed a single line of text in handwriting that matched Alice's case notes perfectly. They just wanted someone to listen. Outside, the rain continued to fall. Somewhere in the city, a clock struck 4:17 and stopped. And so, the story falls silent, but only for now. Because beyond this screen, another mystery is already unfolding. Another whisper is rising in the darkness. When it calls your name, will you dare to listen? Don't miss the next chilling tale. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The shadows are waiting, and they always come back for those who wander alone